Board of Trustees workshop Wednesday, March 11th, 2015, to order at 5:30. We'll call Mr. Gonzalez.
Here, present.
Mr. Vegas.
Present.
Mrs. Diane.
Present.
Let the record show Mrs. Grumble is absent. Next item is discussion proposed agenda items for upcoming regular meeting and review of various topics by the governing body.
Okay, we have one item already, a presentation by Trustee Gonzalez. Isn't that Jaylene?
I should have looked at practice.
And then we really don't have a whole lot, but we do have a letter from Mount Taylor Ambulance requesting that we up our donation for, or not a donation, but we pay them to come and service the village of Milan. They've not had an increase since 1999. They were requesting it to go from 1,000 to 1,750. That's 16 years, so it's less than 5% a year. So I need to know if you are okay with this to put on the agenda, or if you want me to go back and negotiate this.
We need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with
I
that.
just think that they should
And-
ask for an increase every 2 years rather than wait.
Yeah, and I can do that.
Well,
I can tell
It has
them.
been a long time,
Yeah.
but you're right, it's been, we paid the same for years and
That's
years.
right.
And then almost double it, that,
Yeah.
They should, whatever the rule is, or if
Yeah.
there is a rule, but it should be at least every 2 years they should ask for 1%,
Probably.
whatever it is, 2%.
I think they tried to sell it, didn't they? And they weren't able to.
Is
I
that-
don't
is that what
I
happened?
I
haven't
heard
read
they were
it.
trying to sell it,
But
but weren't able to.
if you're in business, you want your raise every
Yeah, it should be every 2 years
2
at
years,
least.
yeah,
At least. But even that's not too much either.
yeah, we need the service.
We need the service.
they make a lot of calls that they don't get paid for.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what it is.
They do.
That's what I've heard, that's
Yeah.
my understanding too, that they come out and sometimes
Yeah.
they don't even,
You can't
Get-
transport
get-
because the person
Yeah.
won't go or they won't
Right.
go or whatever.
And then you all know there's a meeting, the Roca Honda meeting is after this, right?
Yeah.
And that's the pipeline that's coming.
Mhm.
Did you have any questions you would like to address tonight? Like, that you wanna know on behalf of the village?
Okay, if they're coming down that arroyo, right? Are they gonna clean it out? Because we can't do it, right? They have to be able to do it.
Will be cleaned out before they got there. They're bringing a pipeline until they
Yeah.
get it to the Rio.
Yeah, the pipeline's gonna come all the way to Kearns.
Yeah. So, the rest is ours.
Oh,
So
for us to go down the.
Or actually, it's Rio San Jose, but
So when they get to Kearns, when they get to Skytop along the highway, are they gonna go down with the pipeline to the Rio? Where's
I'm
it
sure
going?
they will, yeah. They'll probably have to have a cement
yeah.
deal that where it dumps into it, it'd wash out big old arroyo if it didn't. But I'm sure it would be, but that would be a good question to ask them.
Yeah, find out.
how does the pipeline merge into the Rio?
Into the Rio.
Mhm.
Anything else?
My question is always, who's gonna be checking the purity of the water and how often? And then something I thought of, which probably doesn't really,
I think it's gonna affect as much.
well, yeah, they're saying it's gonna be,
Drinkable water.
it's gonna be drinkable
Yeah,
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, who tests it? And then the other thing is, when you're looking at 4,000 to 2,000 gallons per minute, that's a lot of water.
Yeah.
And what aquifer is that coming out of? And how does it affect the rest of the aquifers in the area?
If it's one aquifer, it won't affect the rest.
No, it's supposed to be well,
It's a deep
I'm not
aquifer,
sure.
I
Yeah,
guess is what.
it's the one,
Right.
I forget what they call it, but
It's not the Morrison?
you could ask Bruce, he knows.
Because, yeah, you know, I remember when we had the conversation with Bruce about the different aquifers, and I'm always interested in the hydrology, and,
Yeah,
you know, that's a lot of water, and water's
Oh,
very
I know.
valuable.
yeah.
I don't think any of the aquifers that were in the mine area affected
No,
a lot.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's a.
But nevertheless, aquifers
Yeah.
are not replenishable,
Right.
and once you drain an aquifer, it's gone forever.
Well, they are replenishable by snow.
Well, it takes thousands of years to get that aquifer
I don't know,
first.
somebody said the other day they had tested, and it had already gone up a foot.
Really? Who, was this, this was from a hydrologist?
This was over there, yeah, it was one of the EIDs.
You know, I wish they would put this
Close to
stuff,
my house.
yeah, I wish they would make it, public information so that people knew about this stuff.
They
It
had,
probably is, you just have to know where to go look for it.
Well,
it was
it's
on
not
the
in paper.
news, it was on the news the other night that the Zunies were 70%.
It's not 100%, so.
No, but 70's better than what we've ever had
But I
in
mean,
years.
when you, the things that I've heard on television concerning the drought, which has been ongoing for a long time, is that it would take many years to replenish the aquifers, because it's a long process. Some of those aquifers you can't replenish because they're sealed.
I don't think that aquifer affects us. But we'll ask them which one it
But it
is.
affects the state, even if it doesn't affect us directly.
But they're gonna pump it anyway.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
Yeah.
water. to
they're
pump.
gonna pump, whether we wanna know that or not, they're pumping it. They're asking us what we think about them running it through the Rio.
Yeah, pumping it.
That has nothing,
Yeah,
I mean, you,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
And-
going beyond just us.
and if you, this water litigation that we're having,
Yeah.
they want us to cut our pumping, and you don't even know how close they want it cut. If these people pump,
Yeah,
that gives us a buy,
well, that's fine, I mean, this.
because they're gonna
This
do it anyway.
could happen, I don't know
Yeah,
what the odds of
they're gonna
this happening actually are, but if it's clean water, that's a good thing.
That's what they said.
Oh, yeah.
They say a lot of things, I don't always
And
trust that it's going to be
when the
clean.
mines were going and they had all that water out there, it really didn't
It
affect
didn't,
us.
it didn't, because,
It's
they used to pump the water for the cattle, for like fleas,
That's right.
cattle.
And he would, I think, take some of this too, if I looked at it.
That's right,
Yeah.
that's one idea too that they're looking at, you know.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but he would take some of it, and that's what he's using it for. See,
Everybody
here's
wants to
where we
tap
are,
in.
here's Roca Honda, they're taking some up, and then they're coming down
Yeah.
605 on the highway right away. With the rest of it until they get to Skytop, and then it'll go into the Rio.
Then we'll have a skytop spring.
You think? Anyway,
your water go.
do you have any other questions that you want?
My concern is what happens if the treatment plant breaks, do they have a way of turning it off till they get it fixed?
I
We
think,
don't
I
want
think
untreated water.
yeah, I think, see, when Chevron had the treatment plant, or they still have it though, but when they were pumping the water, it would go through the process of getting purified, clean and stuff.
Yeah.
But if anything happened to that, it's an automatic shut off. So, you know, it would automatically shut off if
I
the
would think
computers would indicate that anything was going wrong with the water,
Yeah.
they had an automatic shut off.
Okay,
I don't know if this is gonna be the same thing, but I imagine it would.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I'm sure they
But
have,
it doesn't hurt to ask.
better to know, man.
Do you- This is no question about that, but do you think they'll have a map for us to?
They'll
so
probably
that-
have these big ones.
Oh, okay, that we can take
Yeah.
to look at. Okay.
Well, you know, I have this one, I don't know if I have to, I thought I did, but this, I do have to. I can leave it on Teresa's desk and ask her to make us copies, except,
Maybe they'll have
Well, they'll
something
probably
that we
have-
can,
they might, I mean, I don't mind
should
that you
have it.
take this, but mine makes colored copies, but they'd have to make it in 2 and tape,
right,
because it's
Oh,
not
I'm sure
big
they
ones.
would have them
But
there.
she can do that.
but I'm just saying that might help us to,
Oh, I understand that. I don't know what they'll have, but
Yeah,
we'll see. And then, so, we're good with that?
I think so, yeah.
Then we have, we got a letter from the State of New Mexico Energy, Minerals and Natural Resources Department. And it says that everybody's benefited from the programs. Basically, what it is we've been awarded that Water Trust Board, and they want to say that we will complete the required inspection. And we haven't started, so I can answer it and say, we are going to do it, but we haven't started, so am I supposed to answer it now or what? So I will call them, get the information, and I will send this back saying we will complete it.
Yeah.
I just haven't started, so I can't complete it yet. And then, you all got this, right? This article?
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of those articles, a lot of them. Then I have one other thing, our district meetings are going to be in Aztec on April the 9th. And I need to register for it, so if you would tell me who wants to go, it's a Thursday.
By when?
I'd like to go.
What, I don't care, couple days, Monday at least, okay?
Put me down.
Me too.
I got a letter from them. Did you get a letter from them? Yeah. Basically saying, had all the
I guess I
districts that
need
went
Yeah,
to
but I
meetings.
thought our district was going
I
to be
think
in
it's probably in
Albuquerque
their boxes,
area.
because that's where mine
No,
came.
our district is
But
in
that's why I
Aztec.
brought it.
Hey,
Thursday.
oh,
We're going to Aztec, right?
Yeah,
It's in Aztec.
okay.
so, Monday's good, I just thought, because we need to make these reservations, so, that way I can make arrangements,
You
okay?
get credit for its training, right? Yeah,
For training.
they do. When you go to these, they give you,
For your Molly,
yes,
yeah,
yeah. I noticed because on my thing, whenever they send me the letter, they said you.
they tell,
this
yeah, if you're
has
trying to
2
do the Molly,
points
they
and-
do. So, just if you can let me know by Monday, okay?
Speak of Molly, they sure send out a lot of reports.
Yeah, they
during the
do.
session.
They sure do. Well, no, the municipal league does.
Well, yeah.
That's not the same one, because we get them even if we're not in Molly.
2 days you said?
It's just one day.
Monday, yeah.
It's a one-day thing.
Remember last year in
Yeah.
Gallup,
Oh, yeah.
Right, we
it's
always.
the same thing, when they
Yeah.
just do the legislative update.
Yeah, we're close to death.
Just so
Yeah.
you know. And then we have another letter inviting input in the cultural resources investigations to be conducted for that new pipeline. That's what we're going for tonight, and Bruce said he was going to put something in writing and submit it, because they would rather you submit it in writing. I mean, you can ask questions or whatever, but, so if you have anything that you want him directly, then we're gonna get together before he sends it, because he has 30 days to do that. Okay, and then I also have a letter on the forest service policy thing. And if you wanna go and be a part of it, and okay, wait a minute.
I thought you had volunteered for that.
They want us to cooperate as an agency in the revision process. And it outlines the roles and duties in here. So whoever's going to, we can send it in, but then whoever's going should have a copy of it. And they want this by Friday.
Where's it at?
But they don't say where, just, I guess it's not just one.
Oh,
it's, you know, like all the meetings we've been going to. You'll help design the collaborative public engagement processes and events. Provide the U.S. Forest Service with the relevant information related to the comprehensive plan with respect to natural resource-based industries, the economy, culture, and traditional uses. Provide the U.S. Forest Service with information and effects to the cooperation's comprehensive planning from management of U.S. Forest Service lands within the borders. And we don't have any, really. Provide them with responses to data requests to the degree the data are reasonably, we don't have anything they would really need. Public comments. Complete a review of the draft and be available to discuss any documents. They just want your input. They're telling you very plainly that they have the sole and ultimate decision. That's all they're saying. Then they give you a bunch of people that you can contact. So,
I don't think I'm in work about that one.
do I have takers? Okay. You know, just, I got an email that I thought I would tell you. So they're out there, they're getting around, right? I got it, I think, yesterday, or, well, it says the 6th, okay. Dear respected friend, and it said, please reply urgently. Greeting in the name of the Lord, with due respect and humanity. I was compelled to write to you under humanitarian ground. However, this is not mandatory, nor will I in any manner compel you to honor against your will. Please, I am contacting you to let you know my desire to establish a charity foundation in your country with this sum of US $5 million, which I inherited from my late husband, Dr. John D. Newell. It is my desire to see that this money is invested to any organization of your choice in your country and distributed each year among the charity organizations, Motherless Babies Home, mosques, churches, schools, supporting destitute aged men and women, or whatever you may have in mind that will be to the benefit of the less fortunate. I took this decision because I was raised from a motherless baby's home, and presently I'm hospitalized here in Spain, where I am undergoing treatment for my upcoming breast cancer surgery operation. Please reply as soon as possible, confirming your acceptance to this proposition, so that I will give you all the relevant information that will authorize the release and transfer of the money to you as my duly assigned representative. Thank you in advance for your consideration, and I look forward to hearing from you shortly. Reply back to me immediately for more details of the money. Regards, Mrs. Patricia Newell.
Sounds like a scam.
I get about 5 of those every
Sounds
day.
like it's,
I guess,
didn't sound right.
We get
but
them.
I just thought, you know, they come in all,
All things,
Yeah,
yeah.
they just come, so.
I get 5 or 6 at the Arts Council just like that every day.
Do you?
Yeah, it's one to write off.
Wouldn't it be nice if it was true?
It's true.
Let me see if I have anything else. We have, Teresa and I, right now, will be attending ICIP training in Gallup on April the 8th. It's already time to start next year's.
Right.
So we will be doing that. And on the 23rd of April, I will be at a safety meeting. Michael went today as a newbie. And then we have the cleanup on the 25th. And just, I haven't seen, I didn't see that they came back but I have every reason to believe that they will. They came in, those two gentlemen that were trying to help the citizens came in, and they told Yvette that Joy Walker's house, no, not those, they came in asking for the application to assisted living, because Mr. Kennedy has agreed to go.
That's great.
That's good.
And they went to clean, and I guess he said, no, I need this, and I want that, and I need this. Well, they had not gone inside his house, and when they did, they freaked. And they told him, you can't. You can't do this. We're trying to help you, and everybody else is. Well, then they went back, and they said he got upset, and he was very upset, but he told him, the Lord told him to get rid of the house. It's a hindrance, and if they'll help him with that application, all he wants is his cat and maybe a couple personal items. They're going to help him throw the house, destroy it with everything, and then they're going to buy the lot.
That's good.
So they haven't come back with it, but I can't believe it.
I'm gonna wait and see.
You and me. But they came with that. And then Yvette the state inspector could not look at those buildings.
No?
That was not something that they do. But we had to get it from another agency. And she found a gentleman, I don't know, I think he actually works for the state. I don't know where he's headquartered. Rema, I think. And he came, and he went in, and he told her he had seen worse than that. But it wasn't. He would just give her a letter. And he's the one that said, Joy Walker's, that can't be salvaged. So he will be forwarding a letter on both properties.
Oh, good.
Okay. So we got that done. I know that Joy talked to these two gentlemen after, but I don't know that anything's been resolved. I know that they're intending to take advantage of cleanup day, so I told Kim he had to work.
Wow, there's a pile of stuff out in front of Joy's house that it'll take 2 loads to haul it. So, a good 2 loads. And I went by Mr. Kennedy's yesterday, and he's out in the backyard, looking. You can tell he's been looking through all of his treasures back there.
Well, they said, and Yvette, when she went to his house with the inspector, he was waiting to get on the bus to come to the bank. And she said, I just need 1 minute. And he said, you're a pain. You're a pest. And he gave her a hard time. She said, 1 minute. The bus is I'll talk to him. She went to the bus driver and said, can you give us 1 minute? 1 minute. So she said, they're waiting for you. And they went in real fast and out. He was all upset, but he knew.
Yeah.
So maybe it is true. Because
And
those guys told him, and she told him, we're trying to help you. We're not trying to hurt you. It's just not healthy.
And he's already had the heart trouble and everything.
He's not
Assisted
well.
living would be
Yeah. So she gave him the application, and it didn't come back today, but that doesn't, by the time they find, and if he has to look through all that
Well,
stuff.
you probably have to talk to your secretary first.
Oh, God. Will his secretary look for the paperwork it takes? Let's see. Anyway, he has agreed.
He's got to work.
So, okay? I don't have anything else.
Oh, we want to bring up La Fiesta.
Not yet, we have another meeting yet.
That meeting.
We can bring it up.
No,
It's just discussion, we can bring it up. That's why we're here.
It's up to you.
We have been meeting with Chamber and Main Street and Mr. Milan to see, because Mr. Milan is giving Fiesta. and he had asked me if Milan would take it, but they had already at the chamber said, well, what would it take for all of us to get together and do it? So that's where we're heading. The only thing I have offered is our facility, because they really didn't have a place to go. We have the gym and we have the fun room, but we didn't have time to do it in May. So we're trying to find another date that we can use. They were trying to see if they could use lodger's tax, but if we don't do it before June 30th, there is none. Or after, if we do it after, we don't have the access, because then we would dip into next year's and still be in a bind.
Yeah.
So we are looking at other alternatives. We were trying to change it a little and see if we could get more interest, but it's still kind of up in the air. We're doing everything we can, but
So what part would we play in it?
if they all get together, we offer our facility and we work with them,
Okay.
okay? If we take it all, well, it's ours.
Yeah.
But if we do that, we all go after, see if we can get a little bit of money and put it on. He said it usually takes about 17,000.
Yeah, well, it's.
If we do everything that they did.
I mean, it involves a lot of work, a lot of discussion, because right now, lodger's tax proposals will come out on Friday. They'll advertise in the paper, which means that we'll have 30 days to submit a proposal. So if a proposal is going to be submitted on behalf of La Fiesta, someone's gonna have to put that together and submit it. They'll have about a month to submit the proposal. But that will be for next fiscal year. Because the money, like Marcelo said, the money for this fiscal year, if you don't use that money before June 30th, it's lost. And I don't see any possible way of using that money. It's just too soon, it takes too much planning, and there are different options. One is to do a smaller, more inclusive, have it be all groups, so that you have German food, and you have Greek food, and you have native foods, and you have just go back to the original concept of it, I think is what Tessa Jimenez wants to do, provide music by different ethnic groups, and so that it becomes more than just what it was in the past. But it'll take a lot of work. The good thing is that various agencies are kind of working on it and discussing it. We'll continue to meet.
Okay, yeah, we have another meeting, I believe, next
So
week. But
then, for right now, Main Street and the chamber will go ahead and do it for this year.
Main Street and the chamber, and we will help everybody out
And everybody will help.
Right.
And they'll be able to apply for the lodger's tax.
for next year. For this year, it's too late.
Yeah.
If we have it before June 30th, they already have money.
Okay, oh, they have money.
Yes.
But there's no way you can get it together by June 30th.
Right, right.
So this year, there's no funding.
So there's two
You can get
things. There's two things. One is you would have to apply for lodger's tax funding for next year, and then you would have to apply for funding from New Mexico Arts for next year also, because the proposals are all due in December, and then the funding goes into effect during the beginning of the fiscal year, July 1st of next year. So there's a number of things, and then of course there is money from the city, money from the county, and whether they had any money left over or not. But there was talk about, certain things that would interest you, and that would be, utilizing the swimming pool for some sort of relay race, have physical things that the youth could do. They do the mini marathon stuff, but this would be more like a summer event involving running, bicycling, and possibly swimming all together, where you provide some sort of trophies or ribbons. That would be kind of fun.
They used to have that 3-on-3 basketball too.
they used to have that, and so, really looking back at that stuff, I for one, would like them to use the swimming pool for some sort of event where ribbons are provided.
So, but that's something that we still need to, that's why I don't see us doing it before June. But just so you know, that's where it is.
Alright.
We're still trying.
The only other thing I wanted to ask was, you had mentioned something about, we could sit in on some sort of budget training.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna call you. I started putting things, I already started putting some things together. I do have things,
It's like the more you say about it, the more you mention it, the more I think, well, maybe I should forget about this budget training.
yeah, I started already putting, some things together.
I did read the audit. Boy, that thing was, that was a tough read.
Isn't it?
It is just hard. It was like I had to read, I put it down, and then go back in, and I was like,
It's a lot.
it was a tough read. And then plus, it's almost like you need to have, what do they call those, when you were in high school, they had the cliff notes or whatever. Almost need the notes to make your way through the budget. You know, but anyway, I made my way through it. I'm not saying that I understand, but I read it, I probably have to read it again, but.
Do a lot of research on all that other stuff.
Well, yeah, well, I was looking at the lodger's tax, you know, do we get lodger's tax from like,
We get lodger's tax from
from all the restaurants?
No.
No?
all we get is the RV park, Simpsons, and that little hotel.
Because in Grants, they get lodger's tax from the restaurants too.
Oh, I thought it was just the motels.
No, it's the restaurants too, yeah.
I don't know, I guess I could look into it.
Well, I don't know, I mean, that's,
I mean, where does that come from?
yeah, because when the lodger's tax board, I can look into this because I have to go in front of them all the time. It's made up of various individuals, and some of them are, I think at one time were in the restaurant business, because I'm sure that restaurants do pay lodger's tax.
The only two we've ever gotten are these. Now,
You
I
already
will
addressed-
look into it, cause I've never heard that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I didn't know before this either, so.
It's just called Denise Blanca, City Grants, and find out.
I will, cause all we get is the motel and that,
Right.
and even with that, we've built $24,000, you know? And we have a recreation that they used to give us part of the cigarette fund or something, that we've got another 2023, and we have access to that if we need it, but,
Yeah.
but as far as lodger's tax coming in,
Yeah.
I mean, we did our audit, cause I don't know if you've been reading up on all the things going on in Santa Fe, but one of them is, they want you to do your audits and make sure that they're paying the right amount. Well, they're talking about a firm auditing it, but if I only have two, and they give me their paperwork and show what they paid the state, and then what they paid me, I don't think I need anything else.
Well, because and I was reading the audit, it said something in there about, they had made a recommendation that there be a lodger's tax board. Did you read
Yeah,
that?
but for two businesses?
I don't know, why did they make the recommendation?
Because,
They just had to make a recommendation.
That's
what you're
why.
saying. Okay.
I mean, you
But
can
it's
have
in
a board, do you want me to have?
No, I don't, I don't just.
I mean, there's two businesses, and
And there's
Teresa audited them already.
There's $23,000 in lodger's tax money. so-
Right now, and it's been that way. I put in a budget very little to use for the little events we do.
Yeah.
That pretty much has,
That's where the lodger's tax money.
it
goes.
has stayed, yeah. But I will have
Just
a
wanted you
board.
to know, I read the darn thing.
I figured for two businesses,
Well, yeah, just
I
let you
didn't
know,
need a
just let you
board.
know I read it.
but that's good.
Anyway,
Anything else? Vivian? George?
Okay, announcements.
Okay.
Planning and zoning board meeting on Thursday, March the 12th, 2015 at 5:30. Regular board of trustees meeting on Thursday, March the 19th, 2015 at 5:30. That's all. Motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
You in a second?
We all go to the Parks and Rec, right?
Yes. Well, I don't know if it's Parks and Rec or Fun Room,
Oh, I think it's just,
the Fun Room.
yeah.
Oh, is
I
it?
think it is because it's bigger.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
all.
okay.
I bet there's been a lot of people there.
There will be too.
I'm thinking there might be. Okay,